All right. I think I have. I think. I believe I have.
Right. I think I have.
Okay. Thank you very much. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone and then according to what you are up to. You are welcome to this program because it is important for us to continue this gospel of freedom, gospel of emancipation, gospel of respect. Because whenever you have your territorial integrity, you gain the respect of the world. Whenever you behave or you gain your territorial integrity, your sovereignty, you will develop love and respect for the world because you will be actually independently fighting and to make sure you build the best nation on the planet earth because we are not scared of competition. We love competition, and that is the reason why we want to compete with the world, and in the way that will teach our African nations, our fellow African nations, including Nigeria, if it still exists by the time we are talking about, including those who are going to be one Nigeria, whatever they decide to name themselves, they will learn what it looks like to have a nation. Because if you look around what they've been doing, their antecedents, you will know that they have no idea of what it takes to build a nation. A nation is not built on sentiment. A nation is not built on marginalization. A nation is not built on uh, any nation that is actually tribalistic against themselves. That nation is doomed to fail. It is a nation that will never stand. If we know Africa itself or Africa herself is tribalistic in nature, but any nation in this Africa continent, any nation in African continent, you can never ever see them stand as long as they are tribalistic within themselves. This continent of Africa, that so many people, the continent that so many people from the big world are coming to exploit. This continent of Africa that people from China, Europe, USA, many of them are coming to exploit what is in it. And for them to exploit what is in it, they have to make sure they rule over you. They rule over you. They started with brainwashing you. They started with turning you against one another. They use your will I call it a weakness? Tribalistic is not. I don't know if I will say that tribalistic is a weakness. Somebody being tribal, tribalistic. I don't know if I can say it is a weakness, but they saw that as a weakness to use it against us. That's what they did. There are these tribes, of course, these tribes, they cannot get along with each other. This tribe, they never, ever, they will not be able to live together. because their culture and their ways of lives, they are never similar. They will bring those two cultures, put them together, call them one, just like they have done in Nigeria. Amalgamation of 1914, which is supposed to expire because the time frame for that expiration of the amalgamation was was after 1 century, and it's 1 century has gone by. Amalgamation still stand because 1 century was the expected expiration date of this mental, your mind slavery, the mental slavery they did on you. They expected it to actually evaporate after 1 century, 100 years. But because, they saw that it is 100 years, it has the time frame, the lifespan has elapsed, or its lifespan is depleted, and then the next thing is that they will begin to regain their consciousness. They will begin to regain their consciousness. That is exactly the time frame they gave, because that's why everything that is manufactured has its own expiry date. Change is the only thing constant in life. So they understand the time frame when your consciousness will begin to be awake. That's why they gave it 100 years. After 100 years, so many consciousness started being awoken. Remember that Biafrans did not wait for that 100 years for their consciousness to be awoken, to understand exactly what has been going on or what they did. That's why in 1967, Ojukwu declared Biafra, because he knew exactly that whatever this colonialist presented, it is not something that is going to be beneficial to a black man. It is not something that is going to be beneficial to this country they called Nigeria. Nigeria. It is where they, the same way they took people from Africa, dumped them in Caribbean, dumped them in South, in North America, in Jamaica. Those islands, they dumped them there. They now saw these people now. They decided to say, if we want to control and rule these people from here, we need to bring about something that will never make them focus in fighting for their freedom or in fighting for their economic growth. They will continue to do. Let's put these people that will marginalize each other. Let's put these people that will never understand each other, because it took a language for God to destroy, the people that are building Tower of Babel. It took a language to destroy them. So that's why they brought two different people who can never understand each other, because it takes understanding for us to be able to relate. If you cannot understand me, if I cannot understand you, we can never work together. So that's exactly what these people saw. They decided to implement the amalgamation in 1914. Let us bring this to oil and water to see how long they are going to mix before oil goes down and water goes up, or vis-a-vis. It is important for us to know that we are the product of experiment. We are the product of experiment. Nigeria is a product of experiment, and that is the reason why the experiment is destroying you. It is killing you. So they know your expiry date. They know when your consciousness will begin to wake up. And they know that they could not convince Biafrans. They could not get into our mind in order to, control us. They had to bring us to Nigeria. They had to bring us to Folatas, the Fulanis, or Wafil. They have to bring us to this with these people. while we are fighting religious war, because they have given us their own religion, Fulani came with the one they have given them also. Now, while we are having a conflict within this religious affiliation, and we also fighting because we have because of our tribal differences, we are fighting because of the type of government or system they will introduce to us, this which is called feudalism. And while we are fighting like that, they are busy coming to make peace. They are busy being the one that will direct you, because of course when you are fighting with someone, you are it means that your strength will no longer be, the same. If somebody find you, no matter how much respectful or how much people respect you, if they find you fighting with somebody on the street, that respect is almost to nothing, amounts to nothing. You know why? When I say fighting, fighting beating each other. Because somebody who might not even be able to come close to you during that time you are fighting might even come and be pushing you away because the situation you found yourself belittled you, because somebody that is around must intervene. The situation belittled you. So that is the reason why they keep this clash burning, this fight. They keep it running while they are now going to be as people who are who has high moral value, that can actually be a mediator between the two of you, be a peacemaker between the two of you. And when they become a peacemaker, it means they are like a leader to you. They have the upper hand because they are the ones who made you stop killing each other. They are the one who, this one is not like they are doing it in reality. I am not sure. Just refreshed. I don't know if we are coming out now. What is the problem? I am not sure. Okay. What the hell is the problem? Just refreshed.
I don't know if we are coming out now. What is the problem?
Just one moment, please. I am trying to. Okay.
Refreshed. I don't know if we are coming out now.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, those of you on the comment section. Anna Volcano, Chinasa, Pauline, Diko Cha. Thank you very much. Let us continue. Let us continue. I believe we are having a very, very bad reception this time around, but we must continue. It will not actually make us to, distract us. Let us continue. So, as I was saying, while you are busy fighting, you are losing your stand, you are losing your respect, you are losing your moral ground. The mediator that comes to the one who is the peacemaker in your midst gains an upper hand. That is the reason why I told you that each and every time you decide to pick up a fight in public, the one who is going to be the peacemaker is going to be the one that will be more respected. Why? Because the people who are not supposed to come close to you will even come to push you away, separate you from fight by pushing you. Have you now seen how you belittled yourself? So that is the reason why they are the ones presenting themselves as if they are the ones coming to make peace between you and you, while they are the ones fueling it, coming in front to say they are making peace. That's what the strategies that the Europeans has been using against Africa. That's why you see all these places that are having conflict. That's the strategies they are using against them. So while you are there claiming that you are one Nigeria, Nigeria that was not created by your father or by your mother, Nigeria was created by a man you know nothing about. A man that come from Europe and call you. Now you are Nigeria or Nigeria, and you accepted it wholeheartedly. But now when your own people rise up to tell you this and this is a wrong setup that is done by somebody in order to make us to continue to fight one another while they exploit you. Now you will say no because it is said by your own people. But when somebody traveled miles away, different oceans, come to you and gave you even a name. A name. What a shame. And you continue to bear this name without understanding the real value or the real meaning of this name. You continue to bear it. Remember, when you understand the meaning of the name, then you will understand that disintegration of Nigeria is a task that must be done, because that is the backwardness of African continent, giant of Africa. What was their reason to create it and tell you that they are giant of Africa, best growing, the biggest economy in Africa, but you do not even have electricity? If you have electricity 5 hours straight in a day, God blessed you people abundantly that day. 5 hours straight, God has blessed you people abundantly in a day. Every day, sometimes you are blacked out for months. Sometimes you are blacked out for weeks. Sometimes you are blacked out for days. This is not something that I am saying it happens once in a while. It is everyday thing. Whenever you go to Nigeria, all you will be hearing that's what you hear everywhere. Noise pollution everywhere. That is generator sounding. I don't know what the environmental whatever that are monitoring the pollution that is taking place across African continent and across the world. I don't know why they are not charging Nigeria for this, carbonization of the climate, for producing this carbon. Too much of it. Generator everywhere. Because if there is anything that you need to talk about, you talk about the way you are polluting, your environment by generator all over every corner of Nigeria. Generator, 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 generator. Every corner. Why haven't you woke up to ask yourself question? They want to bring a greener energy. The world is talking about renewable energy. The world is trying to force or making away with any generation that is, anything that gives you power through burning of carbon, like fossil fuel, or burning of diesel, burning of petrol. Those are contributing to the sickness of the climate. The world is doing away with such. But Nigeria is actually making sure who bought the best generator is the richest. Whom their generator stay longer is the richest, because that is the competition now. That is another generator they call I pass my neighbor. Those small one, I pass my neighbor. They baptize that generator because it is where you will always start when you want to buy generators. Many of them who bought generator on time, many of us, I will say, who bought generator on Adam, it will be that, this is I pass my neighbor. Because I am not talking about something that I did not experience. Now, everywhere in the marketplace, in a community, generator all over the place. How are you going to transition to the renewable or greener energy when there is nobody who has the political will to do so? Because Nigeria was brought together so that they will continue to be a curse to themselves, to the people who dwell in it, to themselves. When a nation is ruled or position in the leadership is given according to your ethnicity, position in the security is given according to your ethnicity, which makes it nepotism. Nepotism. This is not even about favoritism, it is nepotism. The reason why I am calling it nepotism is that a Fulani man goes there, he will never ever take an Igbo man to make them the chief of security. Or they will not take a Yoruba man to make them chief of security. They take Fulani man, the most strategic, most important position which security lies upon. They take their own people, whether they are competent or not. They just choose them because they want to control them. So it is not favoritism, it is nepotism. Now, you call it favoritism because now there is now a lot of backlash. Just like you have seen, they took the position of president, they now gave it to Tinubu. That is favoritism. They favored him in order to spite Igbo people. This is the type of politics they will continue to play until thy kingdom come. How do you think that you are going to make it to challenge the first world country? How do you think you will ever come out of this thing of called third and second world country? How do you think you are going to come out? Or is it with all pleasure that you are seen to be the third world country? With all pleasure. Where there is a refuse dustbin, the place that is so stinky, place that is the road are dilapidated, the place that there is no hospital, the place that justice system is not independent, justice system is not respected, the place that does topple upon human right infringement all over the place. This place you call the giant of Africa. When in every lakes and rivers, there is always the mother of them. If the mother of them, which is called the head of it, according to the way the English pronounce it and tell us. Now, the head of it is that mother of those lake who gave birth to the lakes. Now, if that mother lake is contaminated, all the lakes are bound to be contaminated. But if Sun Lake or maybe Baby Lake is contaminated, there is still a hope that the Mother Lake is not contaminated, because Mother Lake can even flush the contamination from the Baby Lake. Now you call Nigeria a giant of Africa, and everything evil, everything wrong is in Nigeria, the leader of Africa. How do you then think that you as African countries are going to get it right, are going to make it happen, when you have not found a way to solve the so-called giant? You have to solve it. If it does not affect you in economic, it will affect you in migration. Definitely, these are the things that we don't understand, we as African people. If it does not affect you in your economic growth, which it will affect you through migration. Because that's why you find people moving places to places. Some people will be called illegal. Some people will be called, will be accepted depending on what service they are given to wherever they are going to move to. Some people will resolve to crime because maybe they do not have opportunity where they have migrated to. Of course, maybe there is not even enough job for the people there because it is still Africa. Now, the other ones will be labeled a problem of that country. Now, you see these people to be a problem of your country as well. You know what you need to do? You come to a resolution that you need to consult the government. How do we, stop this, random migration, stop this millions of people running away from your country? Because we don't have enough as well. If they are not doing anything, that means if they cannot do anything, if they cannot make a situation that is going to enable their own people to stay in their economy, that means if there is any struggle for self-determination, I believe you as African leaders must support such struggle. Because if you look around in the last 50 years, Nigerians are the most people that are running away from their countries. They've been running away helter-skelter, Nigerians, helter-skelter. That's why they are all over the countries in the world. Why? Sometimes they will be seen as the problem in that country. Because the only thing they will see is the problem you commit. They will never see the struggle that you are going through. So you have to get used to it. Nobody is going to help you in that regard. You get used to it. Now continue the struggle formidably. Because the worst, the thing that this system fear the most, consistency. Consistency is the only thing that the system fear the most. Once they see that you are uncompromisable, you become a target. No matter how much, no matter how small you might look, once they see that you are uncompromisable, you become the target. That's when they will start creating faction, building somebody who will claim they are buying into your initiative, or they are investing in your initiative. From there, they will useless that initiative by creating a narrative that is not even part of your initiative. They create it and present it to the world. Before you know it, because the media will market it. Once the media market it, your own original initiative is dead, because they will use it and replace you. If the media cannot allow you to speak, dude, you die in silence. That's the way it is. That's what they've been doing with us. Mainstream media, selective in what they report or what they are given to report. They will not report exactly what is going to help people. They will be politically reporting it. Because the worst thing you will do to a common man is that, trying to be politically correct. That is the reason why when IPOB came by, they are so scared. Because we are not trying to be politically correct. And it will help our, all these people, ignorant people, to actually come around very quickly. But when you try to be politically correct about your own teaching, there is nowhere a layman is going to pick up something or understand you. That's why they are so scared. That's why they are worried when we speak. That's why the mainstream does not even want to say hi to us. They are so scared. Any mainstream you will approach to help you bring this documentary, they will be so scared. They will run away. It is not because we are not diplomatic. It is because our story is raw. And our story, will tell it raw. And we are not telling it raw in a way that it is going to, we are going to traumatize children. But we say it the way even the children will understand that this is my history. How do I change it? Now the problem now is the mother lake has been contaminated. What do? You make sure you solve the contamination in the mother lake. Even that's why you must be proactive before it gets to the next lake, the baby lake. That's when the migration starts. That's when people are now ready to do anything to survive, because they are coming out of a contaminated nation. They have migrated to. That's going on right now. So is actually relentlessly frustrating. It is indeed frustrating us, but we must continue. Oh, this is actually exhausting. This network issues, this network challenges is exhausting. I don't know if we are back online. This network challenges is. I don't know if we are back online. I don't know. Okay, we are back. We are back. So, like I was saying, sorry for the interruption. I don't know how long it's going to be to clear, but we're having a very, very bad signal. Even while we were on radio, this few hours ago, I experienced a very bad signal. So I don't know why. So, but I guess maybe it is the weather. So, but no matter however it is, we will continue. We will find a way to squeeze in this message. So, as I was saying, if we do not find a way to fix the mother lake, the offspring of this mother lake will never ever save us either. It will continue to get contaminated by the mother lake. It will continue to get contaminated by the mother lake. Very, very important. If Africa will understand that Pan-Africanism is not, is not about having a nation, two people that doesn't love each other. You have them and call them one nation. It is not actually the mission of Pan-Africanism or Pan-African movement. The mission of Pan-African movement is to know where there is crisis. If there is a land dispute that is causing crisis, find a way to resolve it. Give these people their own, give that people their own, or you find a way to resolve it so that there will be peace. So it looks like our problem with these Fulanese, Hausas, and Yorubas, the problem we are seeing there, it is like a problem of a land dispute. In a very, very, for a lack of a better word, it is a problem like a land dispute. Sovereignty, integrity. For us to know, because we are there, pre-colonialism. We were a nation, pre-colonialism. Regardless of whether there was a border or no border, but we were a nation. It is like in a community, you cannot, come and say that this community is now together with this community, or this street now is emerging, a street that goes, on a parallel of each other. You will say that the street is going to merge and become one street. So it is only a street that goes straight. Maybe there was a demarcation in between. Then you decide to say, no, we can call it one street. But when the street goes like this and the other one goes like this, how will you call it one street? It doesn't make sense. You cannot bring one community and call it another community. So they decided to call us one. 3 different nations, even more than 3. Even more than 3, because Fulanese, I don't know which area they came from. Fulanese. I don't know which area they came from. So they call you one nation because they know that you've been fighting. You've been having issues. Issues of land dispute. I don't know if we are going to be having this problem again because it is actually popping up again. It is popping up again, but let's continue. If we see it, we see it. So they know that you are very good at fighting land dispute. They brought you together now. Now fight for power instead of fighting land dispute. Fight who is going to control police and army. While you are fighting who is going to control police and army, they will come as the people who knows better. They will now tell you, this is your oil. We will bring a company that will be doing it. We will be exploring it, sending it to our refinery. Then you will buy it back. Since you don't have refinery. While it is the system they implemented that deprive you of having refinery. Because you are fighting one another. You don't understand how to run a nation. So why can't we come to these terms or resolution to say, let's disintegrate this country because they can never get along with each other. Once you disintegrate it, they have their own territorial integrity. I believe they can form a bilateral relationship. They can form a multilateral relationship. They will now, meet themselves in business. They will say, since we have we've been called or we were called one before, let's maintain that close relationship by now having open border policy, or let's maintain such relationship by having free trade. Exactly. That's how you could do it. But if you continue to tell me you are Pan-African, you are Pan-Africanist, and you are preaching for the unity of Africa without understanding that there is no unity here, without understanding it is at my own expense you are doing this, your unity talk. It is at my own expense. Because you are forgetting the struggle. Because they show you only the problem. Sometimes you need to divide in order to bring it back together. Sometimes you need to divide in order to bring it back together. Sometimes. That's why when you see a rope, you find out that there is a part of the rope that is already damaged. You have to cut it, divide it. Maybe you get to the path that is still intact. Join it with the path that is also intact from the other side. The part that is intact on this side, the part that is intact on this side, join it together. Then they become great again. So, if you see Nigeria from the three front, it is damaged. So you have to cut it. These people now, they are now separate. After they are separate, now if eventually these people are maintaining their territory, this one is maintaining their territory. They have their territorial integrity. Now they will decide, now I have my security here. I have my security here. Since these people maybe they like to move cattle from places to place, before they move cattle here, I will search them to make sure that they do not have access to lethal weapon or weapon that will be, that will enable them to kill many people at once. Then you will scrutinize them, then allow them in. You will give account of how many people you allowed in. Make sure that the security of the people are intact. So I believe it is a very simple thing to do. So that there will be if there is a security breach here, it must not affect this side. Then this side will help this side in order to fight this security breach. Not enough, they will tell you Ofaka Lotamman. We don't want this Ofaka Lotamman also one. When one hand touches a red oil or crude oil, that hand, there is a possibility that the whole, you know, clothes, your fingers, the rest of the other might also get affected by it. Obitex or CAF will say even those championing Pan-Africanism are not serious. Believe you me, there are a lot of them that are serious. There are a lot of them that are serious. I am a Pan-African. I am a Pan-African as well. But the most important thing is that, there is somehow the movement, they have always done many things in order to um, confuse the narrative of the movement. So they have fought many things. Even the French, they did everything. The French, you see, those people, they don't have repentance. They've done everything also because just like you have seen now, let me not go out of it, but they have done everything to paralyze that movement. They have, including having different ideologies into it. They have done many things to paralyze the movement. But it is now there are formidable people that are in the movement that are actually, who understand exactly the movement. And there are people who does not understand. And those who don't understand the movement, people who don't understand the movement will never understand those people. Because you might not even, those that you need to trust in that movement, you might not want to trust them because you don't understand what they are doing. They don't speak things that you cherish a lot. They speak the truth. The truth is bitter. That's the most important thing. The truth is very, very bitter. That's the problem. And then in African continent, you are not allowed to speak the truth because truth endangers your life. That's the problem. So, but there are people that are coming from far that are actually real Pan-African. There are people that are actually within that vicinity of Africa. They are really Pan-African. But the only problem that they are having now is African Union. If African Union can be up and working, I believe Pan-Africa will do better. But African Union is, they are not doing anything. It looks like they don't even exist. That is the problem. That is the reason why there is a war in Sudan. It is very, very important. What some of the African leaders are doing right now, it is okay, it is beautiful, by going to Ukraine, going to Russia to negotiate peace talk for Russia and Ukraine to see if they will come to terms and end the war. African leaders, I believe they are in Russia as we speak in order to negotiate such peace talk, if my memory sounds me correct. So, but on the other hand, as an a person whom their house is getting burnt does not look for a mouse coming out of the house. Now, because if you look around you, South Sudan, there is a problem. Western Saharan, there is a problem. Um, in Cameroon here, there is a problem. In Nigeria, there is a problem. It is not solved yet. But they are going to travel far to the Eastern Europe to go solve their problem. So that's part of the, that is part of some, things that I don't understand. But the journey that they have embarked upon, it is very important one. Like I said to you, somebody who negotiated a peace talk gain what is called more respect. So it is very important, but charity begins from home as well. They should also know if African Union will, if they will remove those compromised members of the African Union, because they are already, they have, how will I call? They are compromised. There are compromised elements in the African Union. If they can remove those compromised elements, and the African Union will be standing tall, because it looks like they are standing in the midst of giants. They are nowhere to be seen. Absolutely nowhere to be seen. That is part of it. That is the problem. If they can stand tall, Africa will do better. But we support the initiative of the real Pan-Africanist. We support their initiative, regardless of our, political affiliation, or regardless of our freedom fighting, because our freedom fighting is not against Pan-Africanism. It is against colonial structure. That's main thing that they need, you and everybody need to understand. It is not against Pan-African movement, unification of Africa. It is against the structure of colonialists that cannot enable you or us to thrive as individual, collectively, or as a nation. It can never allow us to thrive. How can you? Nigeria is one of the biggest oil producing nation in Africa, but they do not have refinery. If not the one they built through Dangote now, the one they built through Dangote now, you will never have a refinery. Do you even have electricity? The answer is no. How do you think that we will continue to be in that place when we woke up 50 years ago? How can you think? Do you know that we are one of the most patient people on the planet? We woke up 50 years ago. We decided that this amalgamation, this experiment that we were used to conduct cannot stand. We decided that we will separate ourselves from it. Britain insisted, because they know that separation of Biafra from this experiment, it is going to be a bad business for Britain and their friends. They refused, to the extent of killing 3.5 million women and children through hunger and starvation. They orchestrated it. It was not directly done, but they orchestrated it. When they advised Gowon, refuse the Aburi agreement. Refuse the Aburi agreement. Then Ojukwu declared Biafra. Gowon took gun and bullet. Go to Biafra land, start shooting people, killing people. Ojukwu defended the land. If Ojukwu was the aggressor, where was the war fought? The war was fought in Biafra land. Biafra land was invaded in 1967. So, who is the aggressor? How can I be the aggressor? And the war was fought in my land. So I cannot be the aggressor. So now it means that Ukraine is the aggressor. If the war is fought in their land, that's what it will sound like. If you call me the aggressor in 1967, it means Ukraine is aggressor today. These are the things that, because we as a human being, they have limited our mind in order to understand. Of course, they use their mainstream media to sell their lies. They're selective, they sell their lies. Once they sell their lies, of course, so many people will get, enticed by it. So many people will buy it. After all, it is the TV. TV does not lie. After all, this is NTA. After all, this is CNN. This is Al Jazeera. They don't lie. Without you knowing, they show you what they want you to see. The world politics. That's why you see Russia is one of the, is one of the, world, power, because they control a particular satellite. They control a particular satellite. That's why there was assumption, or there was a reality, that they manipulated the election in the United States during the time of Donald Trump. That's why there was that story, because the world knows what Russia is capable of doing, because they control such satellite. And if they can bring you to this, that initiative, the world will also respect you. If they make you a friend and love you, and decided to introduce you to such initiative, the world will also respect you. That's how it is, Russia. So, have you now seen that in this thing we are doing, we cannot get it right, except if we decide to go back to whom we were before they came? Because number one, Ojukwu is not the aggressor. Biafra is not the aggressor, has never been aggressor. Just like the way we are peacefully now, asking for our freedom, making diplomatic move, which we have promised the Biafrans, Nigerians, and the people who created her. We will actually explore every means, every peaceful means possible. But does not mean that we are not preparing for them to, we are not preparing to go any other route. If need be, we will go any extent to get our freedom, if need be. Because that is tracing back our route. When we find our route, we find our truth. When we find our truth, we will find our success. We will find our way. We will find our, development. That's exactly the way it is. You cannot deprive me of my inheritance. That is not Africanity. That is not African. Every African man is supposed to know the value of their inheritance. Biafra is my inheritance. Biafra is my inheritance. It is not Nigeria. Nigeria is name of a slave. Is name given to a slave that was transported through a slave ship. Those are nigger. Now they name the area where they found them, in order to shove it on their faces. Nigeria. They named it Nigeria. Somebody who sucked their mother's cholesterol, or cholesterol. What do you call it? Cholesterol. Their mother's cholesterol. After sucking their mother's cholesterol, they suck their mother's milk. After that, at least if your mother is so busy, she will give it to you for like 3 months. No how, 3 months. Except if your mother didn't want to give you. You were, somebody with their right mind, that's what I mean, will wake up to tell you that, no, it is not good for you to get your inheritance. It is not good for you to look for the truth of your father. When you leave your father's truth and look for another person's truth, the land will always pay you, because the land of your father will be angry with you. So you must discover the truth of your father. You must discover who is your father. That is very, very important. Oh, this popping up messages is just irritating. So, it is the truth of your father that will prove to you exactly whom you are, and tell you which direction to go, and tell you which way your father did it and became great. It is the truth of your father that will show you all those things. As long as you ignore the truth of your father, your own is finished. You are on a periphery. Just like we are. Those who are from this Nigeria, they are on a periphery in the world. They are not seen. They are not seen as a full human being. They are seen as animals. Exactly. To be used. Animals to be used. There is somebody who was talking about our system of education. Our system of education is the worst of them all. It teaches you how to be also grammatically, correct. Your system of education. How to be grammatically correct. How to be behind a computer, like I always say. How to sit behind a computer after all your life in education. You will go and be employed by one person. If you, of course, you find yourself lucky if you are employed by a white person. You find yourself lucky. That is people you find in Nigeria. That's why everything is white for them. Everything is white. You have no idea. It is very, very important for our people to understand their problem, African people to understand their problem. Your problem lies in the colonial structure. Once you are able to destroy colonial structure, you will find African unification coming in. Colonial structure. There is some places that was amalgamated. There are some places that was separated. You need to find them, unite them. Once you unite these people with there is Egyptians and Israelites, they have never been together. They are not good. They always have master-servant relationship. Master-servant relationship. Egyptians are the Hausas in Nigeria. The Hausas, the pharaohs, who invented the ancient civilization, but today they are there. Now, Kushumeka. They are there in Nigeria because they no longer understand the truth of their father. They are now there serving Fulani. Fulani na Nama. Fulani that is moving cattle from places to place. A real pharaoh, a true pharaoh is there serving him. Their Fulani is their, distant cousin. Then Fulani is serving pharaoh. Is that not a curse? Of course, why Togo? That's why we don't know our origin anymore. We don't. So, there is no way. There are people that no matter what you do, they will never get along with each other. You cannot force them. You cannot force them. No matter how much you believe that you have woken up to the knowledge of the truth of Africa, you need to destroy everything that is built artificially in our system. Everything that is built artificially in our system that was introduced by your oppressor, because they didn't introduce it to make you a better person. They introduce it to, so that it will distract you for them to exploit you. So why do you want to work on a faulty foundation? If you want to say now there are these things you are doing, you are actually dividing Africa. It means that you want to continue to wallow in your ignorance and digging a foundation or building upon a wrong foundation, a faulty foundation. Why do you, where you are, why do you have your own sovereignty and peace? Then you don't want me to have my own sovereignty and peace. For unification of Africa, is it not about mutual understanding? Is that not about mutual understanding and contribution to a commonwealth of Africa? That is the unification of Africa. It is not about destroying the borders. You can actually build a border system that we use train to travel, just like in Europe. In Europe, the fact that they are unified in Europe, do they not have their territorial integrities? They do. That's why if you go from Paris, you can go to Germany or Belgium, but through your train, even if you go through the train, you show your passport on the border. If you are a visitor, you show your Schengen visa in every border that you pass. So that's exactly, we can do that. The reason why it looks that like they are united, it is because they are united. You know how? They have a commonwealth. They have a commonwealth. It is about making their economy big, but not controlling one another's territory. No, that is what we are looking for. We have a commonwealth, center of excellence, center of black excellence, I must say, because our people from Caribbeans, our people from Latin, our people from even South America, some of them are still in denial of it. They will understand this is the center of where they come from, center of the gravity. We have our commonwealth. Instead of running to IMF to get a loan, we will have our own. If they want, they should come and they borrow from us. That's what will bring the unity of Africa. Because it is all about the money that keeps the unity of a place. Not when you will be there, you don't understand my pain. Now all of a sudden now you did not solve my pain. And my pain is this so-called unity of Biafra, Oduduwa, and Arewa. The unity of those. Then you, at my own expense, then you expect me to be happy when you talk about another unity. When the uniform I am in it is killing me, you talk about another unity. Do you think I will understand you? I will not understand you, because it won't make sense to me. You need to show me that, you need to show me that you know what you are doing. You need to show me that our history is not evil. Our history is great. And we must go back to the root of that history before we correct the mistake that was made back in the history. Very, very important. If we cannot do it accordingly, it means we are not prepared. It means that even some Pan-African movement is infiltrated, because it means that they don't understand what they are saying. They will keep saying what they don't know until the end of time, because they will continue to say it without knowing how to implement it. Because talking is is implementation of your talk, or will be the work into it, the achievement. Now, let us understand the Nigeria we are talking about here. Let us understand the Nigeria we are talking about here. Just like you see in this photo in front of you. Let me show that photo again. Like the photo that I posted, before this. This. Just like you are looking at this photo, let me clear you. You see the first picture is Buhari using his boy Tompolo. Now the second picture is Tinubu going to use his boy Asari. The reason why Buhari of APC have to use Tompolo, while Tinubu of APC will have to use Asari, so that animosity and the division between these two brothers will continue to consume them. Instead of them uniting to fight their common enemy, they will be using this. I will give you a contract. Then the other one will feel jealous. The other one will say, when Tinubu come inside, he will say, don't mind that your brother. Because the incumbent president, or the president, that the one imposter that is going out will say, you need to take this power from Tompolo, because it is important you take it from Tompolo, because he's growing wings now. You need to now cut the wings by giving it to Asare. Have you now seen how These people are playing games with you because these are money mongers. They will forget themselves. They will forget exactly about their communities. They will forget about their own people who are placed on a periphery in the economy that is actually being run by something that is coming out of their land. Now look at it. I'm imposter to Tompolo, Dan Jagaban to Asare. Now you see the militant facing Obi. The militant there facing Obi, their own brother. Have you now seen the way I just set up this picture? The militant facing their own brother. Why for those of them who supposed to unite and control the militant for the benefit of the Niger Delta, which is Biafra, for the benefit of Biafra. They are using them now to secure the oil coming and polluting their land. People are impoverished. There is no good road. There is no steady electricity. There is their minimum wage. I don't even know what it is. There is no job opportunities. There is nothing. Protecting it for those who are exploiting it from the big world. And those who are, getting the benefit from Nigeria. That is not splitting that benefit to Nigerians. They are protecting it for them. And you look at them, do you call them intelligent people? The answer is no. They believe they are building an empire. They believe they are, because it is a movement. These people, they were a movement. That is very important when you fight for the whole of your community. It means you are fighting to win. But when you are fighting for your own personal self, it means you are standing alone and you are fighting to lose. These two people are fighting for their own personal self and those who are affiliated to them. Those are the people they are fighting for. They are not fighting for a broader community. Now, let me explain further. Now, you know that Tompolo is a very, very, is a great man in Niger Delta. As well as Asare Dokubo was, will I say he's also a person who is known in Niger Delta. I wouldn't call him a great man because saboteurs can never be a great man. Saboteurs can never be a great man. The reason why I call him saboteurs is that he speaks from both sides of his mouth. Of course, I don't hear Tompolo speaking. So I believe he does what is in his heart. And maybe what is in his heart is not always the best thing that he's supposed to do. So that is, it is important for you to listen to, advice from other people as well. So this one that speaks, as you saw, he speaks from both sides of his mouth. There is something I want to show you. Because this different administration, the outgoing and the incoming, the other one used the other one, this one will use this one. Now, for them to continue the animosity between these two brothers, for them not to unite and bring change. Now, let me remove this. Now, bring to you a video where Asare Dokubo organized some of these hungry people from Niger Delta. Organized them. I believe that he brought them to Abuja. And of course, I didn't know what they were doing there. I don't know if they were there for inauguration that is coming up on the 20. When was that? When is that going to be? Okay, I thought it fall to our 30th of May, the day we are remembering our heroes. I thought it falls on that day, but fortunately for them, it is not. It is not on that day. So there is a video I am going to show you. In this video, I want you to see the activities of the Asare Dokubo. You will now see the reason why I didn't put great behind his man. Now look at it.
This Abuja will go past high school. Niger Delta, freedom fighters.
We are the people of Niger Delta.
Tinubu now vote. We don't vote for Tinubu. Anything what I want to better do. Now Tinubu be our president. We don't vote for Tinubu. We don't give a Tinubu don't give a
Now, have you now seen what is going on here? Chima Owa Ezuoke. I am delighted also. You say, I am delighted to hear your voice on Radio Biafra today. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I am also delighted to know that you are also paying attention to Radio Biafra, the place where we get enlightened. So, now you have seen the activities of Asare Dokubo. This is the same activities that you were told by the leadership that the governors from this region in Imo State, was it Hope Uzodimma, is supplying this guy with some amount of oil for him to use these people, these boys that he can organize in order to do their bidding, their evil bidding. This is the type of people, when there is a serious protest that is going to benefit the people, ordinary people on the ground, these are the type of people they will buy to go and factionalize that or be the faction of such protests. And at the end of the day, they will be destructive. When they are destructive, now it will now bring, it will now bring to the international community that these people are destructive, or bring to the world that this is not the protest, it is actually people being practicing anarchy. Or it is, yeah, they will call it anarchy. It is no longer a peaceful protest. So because they have to aggravate the situation in order to give it a name. Once they give it a name, they will handle it. That is the reason why they have to call IPOB terrorists in order to start to justify all the killings that they have done to us in the past. Before they even call us terrorists, they have killed many hundreds of us, or hundreds of thousands. I'm not talking about 1967. I am talking about 2015. I am talking about 2020. I am talking about 2017 or 2018, 2017. I am talking about that. I am talking about all those things. Mpo massacre. I am talking about them. So, in that regard, you will understand that these are the type of people they will always create. Used to create a faction in every good thing that you are going to do for radical transformation of economy or your life or the policies. They will introduce this type of hungry people. Have you now seen they are deployed? Probably these are the people whom you saw Asare Dokubo carrying guns. What is he doing with them? Oh, Hail Mary knows. But at the end of the day, they are deployed to Abuja. Probably to go and protect Tinubu, now we will know. Because he made it clear that if Peter Obi goes into the position of power, he will chase him away. With these boys now, with these people. That's what Asare Dokubo promised Peter Obi. But it is not my business. It is up to Peter Obi to know what he was actually, how he was threatened and deal with it. Because they believe in one Nigeria. We don't believe in one Nigeria. We can never believe in one Nigeria. So, as it is right now, you will see these people. They are going to now use Asare Do you think that Asare will do campaign for Tinubu after campaigning for Tinubu when Tinubu knows that if he remove the power that he has given Tompolo, which is removing the contract that him and Asare Dokubo was fighting about, giving it back to Asare Dokubo, do you think that there will be peace in that region? That is the mathematics these people are playing with the people of Niger Delta, but they don't understand. They cannot understand this, this game of chess that is being played, will I say against them. It is being played against them because a game that you don't have a chance to win, it is being played against you. That is the type of game they are playing. They know politics, evil politics, deadly politics, because these are the type of politics you're supposed to be playing with where your competitors, which is Europe and the US. These are the type of politics you play with them, but they are playing it against their own people. Or their so-called people. Of course, there is nothing in common between Biafrans and Nigeria, Fulani. They play it against their people. Then the Europeans and the US are playing it against them. Have you now seen how we will never get it right? Because something you're supposed to do outside, you are bringing it inside. The things you're supposed to do inside, inside, you are doing it outside. You take the amount of money, go to hospitals in Dubai, hospitals in France, hospital in Britain, but you can never bring that money to, equip the hospital you have. Nurses and doctors that did not get paid. Did you know that? Nurses and doctors did not get paid. Yet they want to introduce a policy that will not allow doctors and nurses to go and practice abroad. Is that not evil people? Evil set of people. They don't pay them. They cannot give them a good payment, but they want to introduce a policy that will stop them from going to where they will get paid handsomely. That is the reason why it is called Nigeria. You know what is Nigeria? Nigeria is that place where we pick up free workers, people who work for free. Nigeria is that place where we pick people whom we actually molested, whom we actually intimidated, whom we actually did every evil thing, atrocious things against. That is Nigeria, that area. So that area must continuously be treated, because if that area wake up, they will actually wake the people that was taken from such area up. So that's why the area will never wake up. We will continue to use them against themselves, because it is in the history that they have never gotten along with each other. Talk more of them becoming one nation or one people. It is a historical problem. It is a historical, issue that they found and use it and continue to recycle it. Now we are here to destroy it, because if you call your dog a name, your dog will continue to answer that name. But if you decide that no, I don't want to name my dog, let anybody who is outside call the dog whatever they want, the dog will never respond to you. The dog is not yours. The dog is for everyone. But now, or if you allow an outsider to name your dog, the dog is for that outsider, even though it's living with you. Because that outsider who named your dog will always be the one your dog will listen to. It will be the alpha for the dog. Now, very, very importantly, they came from all the way from past many oceans to come and give you a name. And that name you saw, nigger, those our people, they have stolen, took to other side, brainwashed them, gave them a name, baptized them, introduced them to their gods, introduced them to their ways of life, introduced them to their language, ripped them of their name, ripped them of their language. They now reminded you they came from here, Nigeria, by bringing the amalgamation of those who was not in good terms with each other and name it. This is the area. It does not matter how they kill themselves. We get our cheap laborers from here, cheap laborers or free laborers. That's why you see in that area, there are no people in Africa that travel like the way Nigeria traveled. Remember that maybe you will go to some certain place, you find that Somalians are displaced. You find that out that even some Algerians are being displaced. Not really displaced; they are traveling, but not a lot. But in Africa, Nigeria is the biggest. Is the people who are traveling. In fact, if you open the gate of Nigeria, people will finish. Why? If you open the gate of Nigeria to Zimbabwe now, Nigeria to Zimbabwe. You know Zimbabwe in Africa that is one of the poor country, or Malawi. You will find people finish in Nigeria. I'm telling you the honest truth. Why is that? Because it is the place they make their mind. It is they position their mind that you can only make it outside in the Europe. Because going to those countries, because they believe it is Europe. A Nigerian person who never crossed Ghana or their border, if you talk about Malawi, they will think it is abroad. It is Europe, where they will go and see white people. I am telling you the honest truth. That is the mind they position for you to go and do a cheap labor without understanding your right. That is the Nigeria. That is the structure for where they pick up their cheap laborers. Neo-slavery. You will transport yourself to go to them, for them to pay you, underpay you. Have you now seen who is still benefiting? They will continue to benefit until you change your mindset, because your mindset stink and you don't want to understand how stinky it is. It's, it is actually something that our people need to start working on their mind. Because the mind, what we have is a mind problem. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. But nobody but you can free our minds. Nobody but you. It is only you that can free your mind if you open it. If you allow this type of topic in, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your religious affiliation, regardless of your Africanism, very, very important. Let it in. Then meditate in it. You will understand exactly what we are talking about. Because they will continue to use this few set of individuals. Call them your leader, the leader of where they get their free laborers or their cheap laborers. Call them your leaders, where they pay them the real amount for labor. That's why they allow your leaders to even take the real amount for labor and then even take extra, so that they institutionalize poverty. When they institutionalize poverty, that means poverty will become something that is normal. It is normal in the society. It is an institution. So that whenever they wake up and tell you, jump, hey, you, stand up, jump. You said, how high, sir? How high? You will start jumping. They weaponize the security, weaponize military, police, and even ordinary civil defense. They weaponize all of them. DSS, immigration, correctional service providers. They weaponize all of them. Even maybe yellow fever. Probably now they must have weaponized them. They weaponize everything that is wearing a security outfit in Nigeria. Use them to intimidate you. Now have you now seen there is a piece? Oh, did I close it? There is a piece I found about Senkuti, Fela's son. Of course, you know who is Fela's son. A piece where he is no longer being charged. He is no longer being charged for slapping a police officer. Now let me read this piece for you. I want to read it out for you to know what Nigeria signifies. For you to know that Nigeria is actually confessing what they are made of. Listen to this. Listen to this. I want you to see this news. Can you see it? I'm going to read it out for you. Now listen. Alleged police assault. Kogi Police Commissioner Akim Yusuf says Nigerians should thank God Sinkuti's body didn't end up in the third mainland bridge waters. Did you hear that? They should thank God that the body of Senkuti did not end up in the Maryland bridge water where their SARS, which they created, will always kill that time, dumped the body. They say, of course, you see during the NSAS and all that, and the massacre of IPOB, Mpo, or Kozo, you find out that we showed you the video where they dump, because they are good at killing and dumping in the water. Nigeria don't know what is autopsy. They don't know what is autopsy. Once somebody died, it's fine. Who killed him? No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Let's bury him. It's fine. It's fine. Which is nonsense. Now you are promoting criminals. It is fine. Don't worry. Who killed him? Do autopsy to know if it's of a natural cause, to know what killed this person. No, it's fine. Don't do. We are tired. Let's bury the body. Dude, is that a nation? Is that a nation? No, it is not a nation. It is something else. Believe you me. That's why they are telling Senkuti that he is lucky that they did not find his body in Maryland bridge waters. Because this is the job of police, the activities of police. Police are like a god in the street. You can't stand them. God doesn't want you to cut some certain hairstyle or dress, in some certain ways, like a real nigger. They are scared for you to look like a nigger, but they are called Nigeria. Because they believe when you cut this hairstyle like mine, you are a criminal because you will look like a nigger. But they are called Nigeria. What type of, I don't understand the mindset of a black man found in Nigeria. Yet you still stand up and say, I am proud to be a Nigerian. Anywhere, I pray that any place you will be proud to be a Nigeria and you are in diaspora. I wish that the God of your ancestors will deport you from that place. Then you will go to Nigeria and become proud of Nigeria. If you are proud of Nigeria, what are you doing outside the country? Mad people, people are so irritating. People are so stupid that when you look at them, they will be telling you, Nigeria is a very, very evil country. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But one day you see them, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Why are you proud? For no reason. Maybe they will. The reason why they will be proud, maybe they see Anthony Joshua box and win. They will be proud to be a Nigeria. But the same Nigeria chased them out from the system for them to go and become a cheap laborer in another man's land. For them to go and be insulted anyhow by somebody. If your country is working, that person could be your employee. That person will insult you. That person will dehumanize you. That person will intimidate you for no reason. Why? Because of where you come from. They don't have respect. if you correct it now, you do better for yourself, because when you reincarnate, you come back, you will find it corrected. If you don't correct it now, I don't want to say your children, because you are very selfish. They have destroyed you to the extent of being so selfish. So there is no way I will say your children, you don't care. If you correct it now, when you come back again, you will repeat. That's the way it is. It's no joke. Now there is another thing that is, I believe, in this video. I want you to watch it, where somebody was saying they will create a parallel government when they swear the president select into the position of leadership. That they are going to create a parallel government. Let me see. It is here. Let me bring it to your screen. Let me try to see if I can bring it to your screen, because I have it here on the phone. Just one moment. Let me forward it to the screen so that we will watch it together. Because I don't like showing it through the phone. I know it prevents some certain things, but let's do it my way. Now it is downloading. So while it is downloading, I want you to, let's continue while it's downloading. Once it's done downloading, it's not going to take like it won't take more than 2 minutes to finalize the download. So in that video, you will see, because of time, I have less than 25 minutes left. So you will hear. Okay, it is done. Let's get it to your screen. Let us get it to your screen. One moment. Here is it.
Even treasonable is when an election is defrauded, and we have seen this. The DSS or anyone who is in charge of issues of making Nigeria united and peaceful should go and arrest people who are talking from the two sides of their mouth, like Nasir El-Rufai, Nyesom Wike, or MC Olomo, Ahmed Bola Tinubu himself, and Femi Fani-Kayode, and the baby minister called Festus Keyamo. Those are the people that should be arrested. Those are the people that should be called to order, because their voice right now is causing chaos across the polity. And if we don't speak, it will continue. We were in this country in 2011 and 2015 when President Muhammadu Buhari himself made statements backed by the APC that they will form a parallel government. Our own parallel government we are forming is not a treasonable offense. It is a decision to disagree with whatever decision this President Muhammadu Buhari's administration will take come May 29. If they are in one side forming their government of Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president, we will be in the other side forming a government that will declare a winner for 2023 presidential election, which we already have the result. We have the result because we have agents scattered across Nigeria. It's going to be peaceful. We are going to announce the result, announce the winner, and declare the winner our own president. So it will be the president of the Nigerian masses. Because we have totally rejected the result provided by INEC as fake and false. So practically, come May 29, for wherever we are going to do it, we are going to declare the winner of the Beavers. The winner is presented by the Beavers as president of Nigeria, as president of the Nigerian masses. And we will adhere to whatever the law says. It's not treasonable, and the fact remains that the right thing is being done. We are not fighting anybody. We are doing it peacefully.
Faction. Now, the real fight in Nigeria has just begun. Who is going to stand to benefit from this real fight? Britain. Because this is a double-edged sword. If they hit you on this side, it touches you. If they hit you like this, it still touches you. The real fight has just begun. Now it brings me to ask Anthony Blinken, who put through a call on the 16th of May to so-called president-elect. Are you hearing this, Anthony Blinken? Because when you hear this, you will understand that your call to Tinubu, the president selected in Nigeria by the system your ancestors created, is not the choice of the people of Nigeria, especially the younger generation. It is not their choice. So now that system that you didn't even plan or try to go down there to know the mind of the mass, the majority of these demographers. You didn't even go to check their minds. You just put through a call because this is the person that will do your bidding, your US bidding, the beneficial stuff for US, because he was indicted. So since he's indicted, he will always be scared that US might call up that case again and call for his extradition to answer for the case, because he just forfeited the money. Maybe he forfeited the money and run away. We don't know. So they decided that they should select this one, which they have a leverage on. They have a leverage on Tinubu. Buhari, of course, the one they call Buhari, they have a leverage on him because it is a mask wearer. That's why he's looking for where to retire, because he does not want to be appearing to wear that mask, except if he fake his death again. So the most important thing here is that the parallel organization or parallel leader they're going to bring, it is only going to cause chaos, right? Who stand to lose? You that is proud of one Nigeria. You that when I told you that it is not through a ballot box, it is not through a politicking that they are playing in the zoo that is going to change your life. It is actually through you making a decision that will change your lives first. By saying no to this amalgamation, saying no to this colonial structure that will never benefit you. There is nothing oppressor will do for oppressed that is going to be for the benefit of that oppressor oppressed. Because sometimes they will come and tell you, yeah, we are charity, we are philanthropists, we are NGOs. They will come and help. You will think they are doing it because they are targeting a bigger thing. They will tell you that, hey, Britain donated $100 million to Nigeria so that they will solve malaria, or they will invest in fighting malaria. They are donating it knowing they are giving it to their puppets in the position of power. It will never go to that place where it is supposed to. It is actually meant for. They are using it to buy this puppet to have more leverage against those you call your leaders. That's exactly what they are doing. They will say, we are giving you a donation of maybe we are giving you a donation of $200 million, or we are giving you a donation of $10 million to use it to fund anti-malaria movement, or to use it to bring into Nigeria electricity, or to use it to bring into the hospital or infrastructure. They know that when they release that money, those people who are in the position of power, remember, they are like eagle. Eagle, of course, it's a unique animal. Me placing them in the position of eagle, it is just insulting eagle. But I'm placing them there because they are capable of grabbing and running with anything, grabbing and flying away. These are the type of politicians you have in your land. They grab, smash and grab. They don't care. Then the Europeans will be using it against them as a leverage to command them, to control them. That's exactly how they will always get them. And you will think you have a leader, but they will speak from both sides of their mouth. That's the way it is. African challenges, African problem. There is no way a parallel leadership is not going to cause a chaos in the land. Maybe there will be even, a popular uprising, or maybe you will find out that all the things Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching over the years, you will start seeing it. Had I know will always come last, for those of you who are ignorant. And let me make it clear, very, very important. Biafra must be restored. Biafra must be restored, regardless of what you think, regardless of what you believe in. Biafra must be restored. It is our truth and our truth that can only lead us to our destination. It is somebody that will start it to make Africa to be great again. It is somebody that will start it. It might not be where you are expecting it to come from. It might be where you are actually ruling out their plan of breaking away. We are not actually breaking, we are breaking free from the shackle of these oppressors. Breaking free. We are well aware that US is not going to give us Biafra. Britain is not going to give us Biafra. We are well aware of that. And, of course, we cannot tell people who are hustling on our success and against us to actually say, no, we are done hustling. You have died enough. And we have seen it. You have died enough to give it to you. The kingdom of God suffered violence, but the violent people take it by force. We are not waiting for them to give us Biafra, but for their own benefit. It will be in their own benefit, because we will have a good relationship that will be beneficial to everyone, not to one person. We are not going to have a symbiotic relationship with anybody who is going to say they are going to support us and helping us to achieve our freedom. No, we're not going to have a symbiotic relationship. That is exactly very important. During the negotiation of Biafra, it is important that we know what the negotiation must be, because we are not going to make a mistake other people made. That is the reason why when all these criminals are parading themselves, gallivanting, we have done with these people, European Union, we have met with that people, we have a headquarter in the US, we are Biafra government in exile, gang of thieves. They're using Biafra struggle for their Ponzi scheme. To the extent that Bruce Finn can't take it anymore. Bruce Finn, he couldn't take it anymore. Bruce Finn decided to actually do the right thing for the first time ever since I started hearing from him. Believe you me, he might be doing good before, but I didn't know. When I started hearing from him is when I'm counting. By writing a tweet. Maybe I can show you the tweet from Bruce Finn. I can. I have less than 10 minutes to go. So let me actually use it and make it the final thing that I am going to talk about. Yeah, I believe it is. It is right here. Let me download it. All right, let me bring it. Let me bring it to you, to your screen, and that will be the last topic, the last thing we are going to touch on. Before we call it a day, we have less than 10 minutes, just like I said. No, not this one. Just one moment. Okay. Says file already exists. Where is it? I think it's in a format that is not able to show to the screen, but most importantly, I am going to show you through the phone. Let me show you through the phone. It is something that cannot be, I can show you, it is not going to show from the format the picture is. When I show you through the phone, I want you to read it. Read it yourself. When you are done reading, we proceed. Let me read while let me try to see if I will see it where I am showing you, but let me read. MKN has asked me to communicate to Biafran his repudiation of, oh, I'm actually reading from the same phone. His repudiation of the Falks Biafra Republic government in exile. Treasonous to his quest for Biafran. Okay, you have read it, so when I'm reading it directly, you will know that it is part of what you have seen. So, MKN asked me to communicate to Biafrans his repudiation of Falks Biafra Republic government in exile, treasonous to his quest for Biafra statehood. Stay away. The traitors have ostensibly established a presence in Maryland, USA. A steep legal price for perfidy is coming. That is exactly what I expect people to. The only person I am still waiting for them to speak against this criminality of these people that they want to use as faction of IPOB. Ejimako. I am still waiting for him to speak against this act. I'm still waiting for him. But we will find out. Maybe he is still championing their cause. But of course, one day he will see the light. He will be tired of whatever he is benefiting from keeping quiet, or whatever he is benefiting from staying on the fence of this. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said that, that is why he said Biafra, communicate to Biafra his repudiation, his rejection, total rejection of the false Biafra Republic government in exile. False. It is non-tactical. When you talk about facts, it is non-tactical, something that is senseless, something that it is not of a significant, value. That's what these criminals, they are doing. They are doing the killing in Biafra land. Now they are doing everything that will see us like a joke. That's what they are doing. And that's why, because of course, I believe that the only reason why this guy called Bruce Finn saw the light is because it is their so-called Biafra government in exile is in Maryland, is in the United States. And in this United States, maybe him himself is a United States-based lawyer, so he can actually easily go to Maryland to find out this building, this so-called building, headquarters of Biafra government in exile, where they have delivered chairs. But he did not find any chair, or he did not even see on that board where they use Google Map. Just like I always tell you that in the USA, you will, any building that you want to locate, once you know the address, you type it in Google, they will show you the 360 of that building. You can actually bring up the pictures and whatever and edit the picture, put the flag the way they put, and now they were able to go there and place one or two after Emeka Livingstone. Now, this guy went there to remove one. At the end of the day, Bruce Finn probably saw the light through that. Maybe he was being deceived, or maybe he was being deceived, I could say, because he knows, or maybe he will be questioned, or maybe he is doing it for him to be brought closer. I don't know what exactly, because I know that everything these people are doing, there is a Western interest, there is a Western agenda behind it. But who is the driver of all these things they are doing? Something we yet to find out. Something we are going to find out. But it is very, very important that we know that the only thing that is going to save Africa is to destroy all these institutions that impoverish our people. That institution is Nigeria. It impoverish our people, create a cheap laborers for Europeans and every other people. That's why in every countries of the world you find Nigerians. In every countries of the world you find Biafrans, because Biafrans are most people that they need a better life. They saw the truth in 1967. They build ammunitions and armors. They build ammunitions and the weapons which they use to defend themselves against British military supply, against the Russian military supply, against the Egyptian pilot. Our people did it. Why do you think in this 21st century they cannot do better? It is because that is what the Britain have seen. They saw that, no, if we leave these people, they will even grow more past us. I know whatever we are doing, they know we are going to get Biafra, but they are actually brainstorming to know the type of thing they will implement that will not enable us to thrive, but it is not going to work. Because the way we are formidable fighting for Biafra is the way we are going to be formidable fighting for the nation building. We will make sure it happens. We have seen the mistakes of those who fought for freedom. They are mistakes. We are not going to go there again. We are fighting this freedom as a mentally free people, emancipated people. You cannot use religion to come and deceive us. You cannot use Christianity to come and tell me moral value. When they slap you this side, you turn the other side. No, you cannot, because I have already seen the light. You can no longer negotiate for me. I negotiate for myself.